Sinner chases hat-trick. Sabalenka seeks returning on her throne. It's time for the Australian Open. Bulgaria's best player Grigor Dimitrov will start his Melbourne campaign against Thomas Maček. The 142nd Australian Open tennis tournament will begin on January 18th, the 58th in the Open era, and traditionally the first Grand Slam of the year. The tournament runs until February 1st, with the reigning men's and women's champions being Jannik Sinner and Madison Keys, respectively. Sinner won the title in Melbourne the past 2 years and is starting his campaign for a hat-trick of trophies on Australian soil against Frenchman Hugo Gaston. The Italian is seeded second, and before the AO he played an exhibition match in South Korea against world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz, in which he lost in 2 hard-fought sets. The Spanish super talent, for his part, has never triumphed at the tournament, the only slam in which he has not won a title. Carlitos, who will play his first tournament without longtime coach Juan Carlos Ferrero, with whom he parted ways at the end of last year, opens his participation with a match against local tennis player Adam Woolton. In the round of 16, Alcaraz can meet Tommy Paul, 19, or Alejandro Davidovic Fokina, 14. 10-time champion Novak Djokovic is seeded number 4 and starts against Spaniard Pedro Martinez. The Joker did not make the preparation he wanted for one of his favorite tournaments. He missed out in Adelaide, and in the days before the AO there were reports that he was experiencing discomfort in the neck area. Last year's finalist Alexander Zverev is third in the main draw and has a tricky opponent for a start, Canadian Gabriel Diallo. Other interesting first-round matches for the men include Matteo Berrettini versus Alex de Minaur, 6, Matteo Arnoldi versus Andrei Rublev, 13, Nuno Borges versus Felix Auger-Aliassime, 7, Lorenzo Musetti, 5, versus Rafael Kalainen, Hubert Hurkacz versus Zizou Bergs, and Ben Shelton, 8, versus Hugo Humbert. On the women's side, Keys will defend her title despite stiff competition. The Americans' first opponent, seeded number 9, is Ukrainian Alexandra Oleynikova. World number 1 Arina Sabalenka, the 2023 and 2024 champion who lost the final to Keys last year, starts against wildcard Frenchwoman Tianso Rikutamanga Rajaona. Sabalenka has already shown that she is determined to reclaim the crown in Melbourne after starting 2026 with a title in Brisbane without dropping a set. Second seed is Iga Swiatek. The Pole starts against Chinese qualifier Yu Yuan. American Coco Gauff is seeded third, and her first opponent is Kamila Rakhimova of Uzbekistan. Gauff's compatriot and fourth seed Amanda Anisimova will play Switzerland's Simona Woltert. Other intriguing opening round matches include Yulia Putintseva versus Beatrice Haddad-Maia, Magda Linette versus Emma Navarro, 15, Barbora Krejcikova versus Diana Schneider, 23, Donna Vekic versus Mira Andreeva, 8, Carolina Pliskova versus Sloane Stephens, and Katie Boulter versus Belinda Bencic, 10. Men's world number 45 Grigor Dimitrov will be Bulgaria's only representative in the main draw this year. Grigor, a semi-finalist in Melbourne in 2017 and a 3-time quarter-finalist at the tournament, lost at the start last year. He started 2026 by participating in Brisbane, where he is a 2-time winner, reaching the second round. There, Bulgaria's best tennis player was eliminated by the Belgian Kalainen. His first opponent in Melbourne will be a tough one, Thomas Maček from the Czech Republic. The two have one match between them, in Vienna in 2024, when Maček won after a 3-set comeback. If he overcomes a Czech, Dimitrov will face Shintaro Mochizuki from Japan or Greek Stefanos Tsitsipas. The Bulgarian's executioner in Brisbane Kalainen is a potential opponent in the third round. Unfortunately, there will be no Bulgarian tennis player in the women's event, after Victoria Tomova was eliminated in the third round of the qualifiers after defeat by the Ukrainian Yulia Starodubtseva. Previously, Tomova, whose best performance in Melbourne was reaching the second round in 2024, defeated Bernarda Pera of the United States and Victoria Hronkakova of Slovakia in consecutive rounds. Players at this year's Australian Open will compete for a record prize fund. Organizers have announced a 16% jump in the total prize fund. It will now amount to $75 million. The winners of the men's and women's singles in the first Grand Slam tournament of the year will walk away with a check for $2.79 million each, a 19% increase compared to last year. First-round losers will walk away with $100,750, and those eliminated at the start of qualifying, $27,200.